Hello, I'm Dr. Harper. This video is covering the syllabus for Management of Operations, BUSN 6630, Section 001, for the fall 2021 semester. So let's bring up the syllabus. In the syllabus, first of all, the course is active between August 23rd, 2021 and Saturday, December 18th, 2021. And one thing that I will comment on over and over again is the end of the course is Saturday, December 18th, 2021. Nothing is considered after the end of the course. Everything has to be done between August 23rd and December 18th. So I start with a schedule outline. And if you notice here with the class sessions are on Wednesday, and I start with a week beginning on Monday. So it starts on Monday, and then notice the topics here. There are 2 weeks for each topic: 2 weeks for forecasting, 2 weeks for linear programming, 2 weeks for aggregate planning, inventory, for the first 4 topics. And the first 4 topics, the assignments I have are a quiz, which is really designed for the mechanics within each of the topics. Homework is practical problems, applications, problem-solving techniques in each of the topics, and then a memo. And the memo, these 4 memos are designed for communication within a business environment. And we'll talk about that as we get into the course. The next 4, that's the first 4 topics. And then topics 5, 6, 7, and 8 is just a quiz. And notice the quiz are at the end of the week, but the end of the week is on Sunday. And then so Monday you'll have the answers, and then Wednesday we will have the class period for the next week. Okay. In other words, so these are just quizzes. So MRP, ABC inventory classification, scheduling, and process control charts. All 4 of these is just the mechanics, looking at the mechanics. But even though there's just, on these 4, even though they're just quizzes and they're mechanics, toward the end of the quiz, I also put in some applications at the very end. Okay, and notice also I have, the reason there's 2 weeks, I have an introduction for the first week, application for the second week, and this application is really going over the homework and talking about how to work the homework and how to approach it and how to go over it. Okay, in addition to the in-class sessions on all of these, I will also have videos that will cover the lecture. Now the videos are not zooms of the in-class sessions, and actually the class sessions are not recorded. In other words, anything that's said in class stays in class. But the videos are the same type of lecture, but on a video. And so the value of the videos is that you have this lecture that you can go over and over again, but in class you can actually talk about it. And that's why the week begins on a Monday, because you'll have the videos you can watch before the class sessions. I cover the lecture again in class, and you could have watched the video and seen the lecture, and then I go through the lecture again, and you can ask questions as I go through it. Okay, and so that's the design. That's my design. Down here I have a review. This review is for the exam and the project presentations. Now the exam is over topics 1, 2, 3, and 4. In other words, I go into the quizzes and homeworks and the memos for the first 4 topics. 5, 6, 7, and 8, just mechanics. I don't really test on those. I test on the first 4 topics. Okay, and the exam is over those on Wednesday. Now this review session, I'll have an exam review, which I say, here's what I'm going to focus in on. There's a lot of material in those 4 topics, but I'm saying here's what I'm focusing on for the exam. Also, I have a project presentation instructions. And the presentation in class, the report is due through Canvas, and that has to be done by the end of the course. Also for this semester, which I'll talk about later in this syllabus, is the exam is in class. But if you miss the exam, and sometimes it can't be avoided, Then after Wednesday, beginning Thursday, between Thursday and the end of the course, which is Saturday, December 18th, you can take an equivalent exam online. But you can only take the exam once. If you take it in class, you can't take it online. If you don't take it in class, then you can take it online, and it still counts the same. It is not the same questions, but it is based on the same exam study guide, the review, but it's different questions. Okay. The required textbooks is Heiser and Render. You can get this through the bookstore or through Amazon, however you want to do it. Now, the grades are based solely on your grade measure performance. Grades are not negotiated, and all I mean by that, grade measure performance, is however many points you earn, divide by the total possible, that gives a percentage. And that percentage over here then will be scored with a letter grade. And so as you go through the course, you can see what your letter grades are. But notice there's a total of 300 points. The exam is 1 letter grade. The project is 1 letter grade. And then as you come through here, the quiz assignments, homework assignments, memo assignments, all those together will be, if you make an A on all of that, you have a C. And so you need this to get a B, you need this to get an A. And so that way, that's how the points have been distributed. So that's the discrimination of the measurements. So notice the exam is something you take all by yourself. All of the quizzes, homework, memos, collaboration is encouraged. The only thing that's required is the memo is required to write yourself. Okay, a summary down here of the course. The quiz assignments will emphasize mechanics. The homework assignments will emphasize the application of a problem-solving approach in each topic. The memo assignments will emphasize communicating the results in a business environment. Exam is designed for evaluation. The project is designed to conduct independent research on a topic related to the course. And again, the exam and the project, more information will be given during the course. Video source resources available online through Canvas. Now, even though I have videos, the link will be in Canvas. You link it, it goes to a video, and you can watch it. The synchronous physical office hours on Monday and Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. in the Business School office, 4205, but also I will meet before and after class. So physically, synchronous means every Monday and every Wednesday, but I'll meet before and after class or during office hours, 2 to 3. Now, synchronous virtual office hours will be through Zoom Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. And so you can do through Zoom, or you can do physical, or see me during class. So there's plenty of ways to get a hold of me. But notice after Wednesday up until Friday, the only way to get a hold of me is asynchronously through Q&A, but the Q&A is between students. Q&A, the question and answer, is a link in Canvas, and you can collaborate between each other on Canvas. And then I will visit that probably at the end of the week. Every week I visit it to see if there's anything I need to contribute if people are going in the wrong direction. But other than that, communicating with me is at the beginning of the week. And then asynchronously is at the end of the week before you submit the assignments. Which, notice the way I've designed this is to do your work early, stay ahead of the game, don't wait till the last minute, and it's your choice. Okay, policies and procedures. First of all, I start with a course description here. This is right out of the catalog. And then this course overview. On-campus course design. Course design contains multiple resources to be utilized at each student's discretion based on learning styles, learning objectives, availability, needs, and I want to emphasize at each student's discretion. Each student learns differently. You figure out what's best for you to learn to optimize your learning. One of the most important things you will learn at higher education is how to learn. And so I have a lot of availability here, a lot of resources. You have to learn what's best for you, and each person is a little different. Course design also includes deliverables. in the form of quizzes, homeworks, memos, exams, and a project. Each type of deliverable has a specific learning objective, and I've already mentioned that. Lectures will be in person and online as a video, not simultaneously delivered, but equivalent in content. I've already mentioned that. Lectures delivered in person will primarily have objectives of presentation and application. The first week is a presentation of the material. The second week is the application of the material. And then the memos are a communication of the material. Okay, whereas the videos will have multiple objectives with a focus that includes material for industry applications. In other words, on the videos, you can repeat it, and it's not like conversation during class. It is a presentation on a video that you can revisit. Each student is required to submit deliverables when due, and I want to point out, no late assignments are accepted. You're given plenty of time to work the material, more than enough time to work the material. Make sure you get it on time because nothing is accepted. No late assignments are accepted. If you don't turn it in, you get a 0. Deliverables are designed for learning, but exam is designed for evaluation. Exams may be taken in person or online, and I'll mention that here a little bit later on what that means. I've already mentioned it, but I put it in the syllabus as well. The projects are designed for each student to conduct research on a topic related to the course. Project deliverables are in an individually composed report, and that must be done by each individual person. And that's why I keep saying an individual project report. There's no collective report. You can help each other, you can work together, but each person writes their own report. And this report is on the details of research findings. But the second deliverable is an individual presentation on a summary of the research findings. And I'll talk about that here in more detail in a minute. No work is accepted or considered after the end of the course, which is that Saturday, December 18th. Again, I emphasize this again. Okay, the material here is the textbook I mentioned, and Canvas is required. Although there are no prerequisites for the course, knowledge of mathematics, statistics, and Excel will be useful. And I say that because there is some mathematics within this course, there's statistics within this course, and I'll be using Excel. And so if you've never used Excel, well, when you get done with this course, one takeaway will be you'll learn how to use Excel. Or you'll have the opportunity to learn how to use Excel at a very basic level, but a level strong enough and enough to support an MBA. And here's the reading material out of the textbook. And notice sometimes I say exactly what the pages are, like pages 699 to 728. And sometimes I chapter 1, pages 1, FF is and following. 1 and following, and sometimes it applies, sometimes it doesn't apply. What applies is the lecture notes. And I will have lecture notes within each topic. Okay? So even though these are the readings, required readings within the textbook, let me bring up Excel. Let me bring up Canvas. And in Canvas, I will also have the lecture notes. And those lecture notes essentially will be, let me pull it up here for a second here. And here it is. Okay, here is Canvas. And in Canvas, you'll see I have the welcome video down here, office hours, Zoom. Now, let's say this first forecasting here. When you click on this, I'll have a Word file, and sometimes I'll have an Excel file, but I'll always have a video. And that video will be describing the lecture notes in the Word file. So even though you have readings in the required textbook, you'll also have a lecture Word file, and the lecture video will cover that. And sometimes it'll cover the Excel file as well. And then you have downloaded these assignments. Here's the quiz assignments. Here's the homework assignments. And a lot of times, many times, I'll have a video, and this is the second week, I'll have videos on how to work those assignments. And those you'll have a quiz assignment, homework assignment, memo assignment, and the videos then will help with doing those assignments. I'll also have a lecture in class. Okay, and there they are. And here's the Q&A link. When you click the Q&A and it goes to a discussion board, here's where you ask questions about the material. If a student can answer it at the end of the week, I will visit every week. I'll visit this to see if there's anything I can contribute. Okay, and then finally down here at the end, I'll just come back to this. At the end down here, here's where you submit the quiz, submit the homework, submit the memo, and down here will be the answers. Okay, and this will be regenerated for this semester. Okay, notice let's go back to the home. Notice that the blue is live and the black is not live. And notice this video will be this link right here. Once this video is done, this link will be to this video. It's not live yet because I'm not done with the video. Okay, but then black is not live and blue is live. Okay, good. Let's come back to the syllabus. Course objectives. These are my objectives for the course. The course will survey concepts, methods, and strategies commonly used in the management of operations. Now, the concepts is like the presentation, the methods of the mechanics, strategies, and the strategies, there's where the memos come in, where you can communicate different strategies to the clients when you're reporting it. Course design, I repeat it again here to be complete, contains material online sources, quiz assignments, homework assignments, memo assignments, no curves, no extra credit. So I say it again. Following the common rounding conventions for calculations in the course, especially related to grades, assignments, and exam. So when you round, never round during calculations, only round the answers. Never use a rounded number in a calculation in this course. You use the full, all the significant figures, and that's why we use Excel. You only round presentation when you present a number. If rounding to the units digit, for example, 1.5 is rounded to 2, 1.4 is rounded to 1, you round up, half is rounded up, less than half is rounded down. Okay, the quiz assignments, homework assignments, and memo assignments will be available through Canvas. You download them and you submit them through Canvas. There'll be an exam, there'll be a project. The quiz assignments, homework assignments, memo assignments are designed with different objectives. I've already mentioned that, but I state it again here. No late assignments are accepted. Okay, communication, I've already mentioned this. First of all, the communication is encouraged throughout this course, except for the exam. Do the exam yourself. Composition of the memo assignments. Now you can collaborate with people. Collaborate with me, I'll help you. But the composition, creation, and writing of the memo assignments has to be yours. And the final composition of the projects. Again, the writing of the projects, putting it together, presentation has to be yours. Each student is responsible to submit work based on their understanding and ability. Although collaboration is encouraged, collaboration is not required. You don't have to collaborate if you don't want to. Lack of collaboration does not eliminate a student's responsibility to submit the grade. You can't say, I haven't got with my group, so let me submit it later. Nope. You're responsible to get it done when due. Communication between students about the material or the course will be through Q&A. I've already mentioned that. And I will join throughout the course and at the end of the week to see if there's anything I can contribute. For this semester, I will be available during before and after class for questions. I will also be available during physical office hours and during virtual Zoom office hours. Office hours are drop-in with no appointment needed, and office hours information will be available on Canvas. I've already showed you what that was. Now, the Canvas messaging or email are less efficient, less reliable modes of communication, and take care to use these modes only when necessary, because if you email me, there's been a big problem with that where a lot of times I don't get it. There's more than one Michael Harper here. There's three or more Michael Harpers here. Often it goes someplace else. Sometimes it goes to junk mail. And sometimes it gets embedded and I don't even see it with other types of memos. And Canvas messaging, I have a lot of those. Sometimes I don't get to them. So communication concerning the course material will be directed to the Q&A in Canvas. So if you have a question about the material, go to the Q&A in Canvas. Ask your colleagues, because you're all talking about the same thing. Should email be necessary for personal communication with me, use this email address and actually include BUSN 6630 so I'll know that it's this course. Okay, moving on. Submission of the quiz assignments. Well, these, you download them through Canvas, you upload them through Canvas, but this paragraph is important. Submit answers to assignments through Canvas. Now, quiz questions and homework questions will be posted on Canvas. I'm doing quiz and homework. Carefully follow this procedure. Now, I'll let you read this, but what this is saying, be very, very careful. Download the questions. There'll be a Word file on the quiz and the homework. You have the questions in a Word file, work them. Go to Q&A, collaborate, get all the answers. And once you have all the answers, they're multiple choice. Sometimes you upload some material. But once you get all the answers ready to submit it, only then do you go and submit the answers. Because when you open that submission, you can only submit it one time. You have 60 minutes to put all the answers in. People, when they're all ready, it takes 3 to 5 minutes to put it in, but you have 60 minutes. But when that 60 minutes is done, whatever you put in there or don't put in there, it is submitted. And you can't submit it a second time. Also, there is a due date and time. Sunday night, 11:59 p.m. If you open that submission link at 11:58, 1 minute it's going to close. Say, wait a minute, I'm not done. Yes, you are. Because the 60-minute is a deadline, and the 11:59 p.m. on Sunday night is a deadline. And whatever you submit or don't submit, that's the deadline. And if you don't submit something, get a 0. So be extremely careful to make sure you're aware of the rules. Follow the submission rules, and you get plenty of time to submit these things, more than enough time to do the work and submit them. And so be very careful with that. Follow the common rounding conventions. Like I said before, do the same thing for the calculations on these submissions. Any grading errors on assignments should be resolved as soon as possible. Every once in a while, my answer sheet in the Canvas gets messed up. I'll correct the grades, but no corrections to the grading material will be made after the end of the course. So make sure and I'll post all the answers. So make sure the answers that they're the answers and the Canvas did it correctly, because sometimes Canvas doesn't do it correctly. Collaboration is encouraged to aid in learning the material, but not required. Although collaboration is encouraged, students are expected to perform their own work. Okay. Now the memo assignments. The memo assignments are small case studies I will make available an assignment memo online at appropriate times that initiate the work from each student. Each memo assignment requires 2 submissions, a response memo and a technical memo. Each memo is limited to 1 page. Submit those 2 pages in 1 PDF file. And notice, it's a 1-page response memo, 1-page technical memo, 1 file, and a PDF file. Those are the guidelines. That's the procedure. That's the policy. So make sure you submit them. Unfortunately, a lot of people do not submit a PDF file. They submit a Word file. Sometimes they'll submit 2 or 3 pages for the response memo or the technical memo. A response memo with attachments. That is not acceptable. These are the rules, because these rules are very important, because those rules, within those guidelines, you have to think about how to communicate within 1 page. So you're just communicating the important parts, not things that are unimportant. And I say that in the design. Design the response memo for the business environment. Design a technical memo to outline the details of the approach, which is like an internal document. Each memo must be self-contained, complete, descriptive, succinct, and limited to one page. Now, what I mean by this is each memo must be succinct but adequate and appropriate, that the response memo is designed for the business environment. It's not telling me what you did. It's telling them what they need to know. They don't always need to know how you solved a problem. They need to know what the answer is and how they're going to use the answer. The technical memo is telling me how you solve the problem. Okay? And you're not telling me how I would use it. That's what you tell the client. You tell me what you did to solve the problem. And that discipline, the discipline of how do you communicate what people need to know and how do you communicate what you did so you can do it again and repeat it. That's a very, very important discipline. Okay, the composition should reflect their different audiences, objectives, scenarios as defined in the assignment memo. Some assignment memo, you have a small company, some is a big company, some is recommendations, some is a white paper report. So there's all different scenarios. So be very careful you report this according to, you write this, you compose your memo according to the scenario. Okay. Submission of the memos, this needs to be centered. Make sure that you have the response memo here. You have the technical, let's center this. You say response memo number 1, 2, 3, 4. The date here, the party requesting the work to the client, this is the client, your name, and some title about what you're doing. Okay, and then you're going to have the content. And all this is on one page. And so notice it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, and then your memo for the rest of that page. That's the one page. Likewise, for the technical memo, it's going to be one page with the same format. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, and then the technical content of your memo. Okay. So make sure you use this format. If you don't use the format, I'll say, hey, I'll count off. Okay, the format is necessary. It's not something that's suggested. It's a necessary format you have to put in there, or else it'll be counted off. You don't have the title, you don't have the header information, I'll count off. If it's more than one page, I'll count off. If you don't answer the questions, count off. If you say it's a response memo and put technical content, I'll probably count off. If you say it's a technical memo and never give me any technical content and give me a response content, I'll count off. So it has to be appropriate. Okay, memo composition, plagiarism, and academic dishonesty. I will be grading on the memo content that contains technical accuracy, answers the client's questions adequately, and responds appropriately within the scenario presented. And notice, I'm just saying, I'm not going to really grade on the actual literary structure of what you do. People are going to do this different ways. I want your personality. Some people are very technical when they present this. Some people are more general. Some people will create tables and graphs. Some people will just have text. You communicate. You have to say the right things. You have to answer their questions. And you have to say it within the scenario. In other words, you're talking to them, not me. Collaboration is encouraged to aid in the learning, but not required again. Most importantly, collaboration should be limited to the calculations, analysis, understanding of the content of the memo assignment, but not the creation or composition of the response technical memo. And there is no video presentation. I have that in the projects, not the memos. Each student is required to do their own writing, composition, production, and submit originally composed work. Essentially the same response memo or technical memo, the same words submitted by 2 or more students will receive 0 and will be considered a violation of academic dishonesty standards. That's cheating. I'll report it to the Internal Affairs Committee as you cheated in this course. So therefore, do not assist in another student by allowing them to see a copy of your written work. Academic dishonesty includes copying from another student or allowing a student to copy from your work in part or in whole. Now, notice you can collaborate. I said this, I did this, fine. But you have to say, okay, I agree with you. I'm going to say that too. But you say it in your own words. If that's what you want to say, well, then you say it the way you want to say it. Don't say what they said. You say what you want to say. If the same text comes in, if the same production comes in, both get a 0. And I've had problems with this. Students will say, wait a minute. I didn't ask them. They copied from me. How did they see yours? Oh, well, I showed it to them. That's the same thing. Whether you copy from them or let them copy from you, it's still copying. It's still academic dishonesty, so don't do it. Okay. The purpose of the memo assignments are to test your understanding of the techniques, your ability to correctly apply the methods in a business context, and your ability to communicate these concepts in a business environment. And there's where collaboration comes in. Okay, well, here's the techniques. Here's the business content, understanding what needs to be said, and then saying it. That's the purpose of the memo assignments. Now, this would not be an assignment in engineering, but business is communication. Knowing the answer is not helpful. Actually, it's useless if you can't communicate the answer effectively. Okay, next is the exam. The exams will be in this course. An exam study guide will be available to prepare for the exam. It'll be in class and online. The exam may be taken only once. An exam will be multiple choice, open book, open notes, and time. No collaboration is allowed. Again, collaboration is cheating. For this semester, exam may be taken either in class or online. Exams may be taken only once. If the in-class exam is taken, the online exam will not be considered. Even though it's there and you take it, if I have an in-class exam, that counts. The online exam will not even be considered. I'll just bypass it. The in-class exam must be taken on the date and time scheduled to be given in the classroom. Answers to the in-class exam will be handed back during the next class meeting, so you'll see the answers. Okay, and a lot of people say, well, if I wait for a week, then I'll see those answers and I'll take the online exam. I'm aware of that, and you can if you want to. But the questions on the online exam are not the same questions, but equivalent questions. And they're equivalent questions. The in-class exam, the online exam are equivalent questions based on the exam study guide. So you have the exam study guide. That'll tell you exactly what to study. Okay? And having the in-class answers really are not going to help you that much. It's the same thing. Okay? The exams are equivalent but different. Answers to the online exam will not be available until after the end of the course. There you go. Okay, finally, the projects. Each student is required to conduct independent research on a topic based on material related to this course. What I mean by independent research is that each person has to do their own report. That doesn't mean you can't collaborate. You can work together on a topic. For example, you might work together on sustainability within operations. Well, one person is looking at one aspect of sustainability. Another person is looking at another aspect of sustainability. So it's individual research, but you can help each other out in that research. So collaboration is encouraged. But the independent research is you write your own report. Okay. The originally composed individual report shall demonstrate the student's knowledge of the research and ability to effectively communicate the knowledge appropriate to a business professional. In other words, this is a business professional, not academic report. It's a business report. It's as if you're creating a white paper for your colleagues within a company. Say, this is what we need to know moving forward. Submit the completed individual report only through Canvas as a PDF file again, on or before the due date and time. No late work is accepted. Submit your report through Canvas as a PDF file. Do not use a cover page, but use a title below. Like I've mentioned before, I've done this before. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. When you do this, all this should be centered. Actually, it all should be centered. Okay. First of all, this title is your title of your report, whatever that title okay. But underneath there, say this: individual project report submitted as a partial fulfillment of requirements for the Management of Operations course at UCD. And then your name is here, the date, and then down here's your content. And so no cover page, but you'll have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 header lines, and then start your report. Now, and that's your report that you submit. Now, the project presentations are presentations on a topic consisting of a summary of each student's research. Each person is required to report a summary of their research. Each person will be limited to approximately 2 minutes of presentation time. For each individual presentation, do not read your report. Okay, before I say this first part here. In other words, the last class period, let's back up here, right here, on Wednesday here, Wednesday, December 14th, everyone presents in class. Everyone's limited to 2 minutes based on a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, let's come back down here. Here it is. Oop, there it is. PowerPoint presentation. And so again, if you have a group working together, you can work in a group, but each person presents an aspect of the project. Okay. For each individual presentation, do not read your report or cover detail in your report, but present a general overview of significant findings from your report. Now, the reason I'm emphasizing this, a lot of times students will say, oh, well, 2 minutes is not enough to say what I did. I said, that's right. I don't want you to say what you did. I want you to give an overview of what you did. Don't cover the details. Give a general overview of significant findings of your report. And 2 minutes is plenty of time to do that. So this discipline is important because people do not want to know details if they want to know the big picture. The individual report contains detail, but the presentation merely contains significant findings and an overview. Communicate content appropriate to the objectives expected within the mode of communication, if it's a written communication or a presentation. Learn how to separate that communication out. Now, this is not a course in communications, but communication is part of business. Okay, project presentations are in class. However, each student may elect to perform the entire project alone or be part of a small project team. If a project team is used, the team may select a topic based on material related to this course, and although the team will research the same topic, each student must submit a report on an individual aspect of the topic, where no two students report or present the same material. It has to be different, and there's where you have the individual research. Topics can be selected from a list that I will provide in Canvas, and on the review, I'll talk about topics throughout the course. Also, a project presentation may be submitted as a video MP4 format through Canvas at the student's discretion in lieu of, or even in addition to, the in-class presentation. Now, this last little sentence. Sometimes people say, I can't be there. I can't be there. You can't be there that last day. For one reason or the other, it happens. Fine. make a video and submit the video. And I will have help on how to create the video. Okay. Or you can do the in-class presentation and do the video. Actually, I will, in addition to do the presentation in person and also do it in a video, those are two types of presentations. They probably, both should be probably done. The point is, I'm giving some options. Okay, finally, this is like a summary of what I've talked about. The assignments are submitted through Canvas. Oh, on this one, assignments consist of quiz, homework, memo, and a project. All submissions of assignments are through Canvas. Each assignment not received when due has a grade of 0. Late assignments are not accepted. Grades will be posted online during the course. Final course grades are submitted. Okay, the final course grades will not put on Canvas. I'll submit it to the registrar. No correction to the grade will be considered at the end of the course. One thing I want to say here. All submissions of assignments are through Canvas. Now, sometimes, even though it's not in the syllabus, if there's a problem with Canvas, Canvas goes down. Oh no, how can I get it on time? If it's after the due date and time, you get a 0. So how can you get it to me? Well, you shouldn't wait till the last minute. But if Canvas is down, you want to submit it, you have to submit it. Then if you email me and it's there and it's time dated and stamped on time through email or Canvas messaging, and it's there, I'll say, I'll accept it. So the syllabus, the requirements are through Canvas, but if I get it through, if it's date, timed, and stamped, date and time stamped, so it's on time, and it's there, I'll accept it. Nothing considered after the end of the course. Academic dishonesty, I say it again. Now, we've been asked to put this contact in here. This first link is the catalog, is the code of conduct. The second one is human resource with this link here has all types of human resource disclosures. And they ask us to do that, and so I'm doing it. The FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, is required by law to be followed, and here is the actual the law, and also the policies within the university. In other words, someone who's not authorized to receive the information, like what's my grade, a neighbor, an employer, a parent, a sibling, and say, what's their grade? It's like, I'm like, I can't tell you. Wait a minute, you have to tell me, because I don't. By law, I cannot tell you. And I will not even tell you if I don't know it's you. So make sure you identify yourself. And that's why it's important to communicate with through established communication lines. Any current or potential indications of violations of verbal or physical disruption or intimidation can be reported to the CARE team, Campus Assessment Response Evaluation. In other words, if anything happens, verbal aggression, physical aggression, disruption, anything going on that's a problem, any kind of, or even a potential problem, report it to the CARE team, and this CARE team will evaluate it, will assess it. Okay, and sometimes someone may be going, having a lot of problems. The CARE team can help individuals, can help groups, can help patterns or anything. And so this CARE team reporting it there could undermine or disengage potential problems. Any incident of violent or disruptive behavior can be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School. Conduct also includes etiquette that is respectful to all peoples, facilities, and institutions while on campus, even online. Okay, I've been here long enough that this has been a problem, and it has been reported. Commitment expectations. Taking this course represents your commitment to perform the work when due. Faculty policies have stated that classes in the business school should require of their students a workload in and out of class that enhances quality education and is consistent with the amount of academic credit granted for the course. This course requires work due on a regular basis. Historically, people have said, oh, well, I didn't know it was this much work. Yeah, it's in the syllabus. It's this much work. Work is due every single week, and it's due synchronously due. And also, homework is due. No incomplete grades are given. And policies in this syllabus apply to each student equally. I want to emphasize that. The reason I say that is every once in a while I get a student, sometimes a belligerent student, it says, I want you to do this for me. It says, I'm not doing that because it violates the policies. It says, yes, but I need this. I says, well, I would do it if it was part of the policy in the syllabus, but I'm not going to violate the policies. And so I do that for two reasons. One, for the people who want me to violate policies, and two, for the people who don't violate the policies. You should know that I'm not going to make special arrangements for people just because they tell me I have to, and I won't do that. However, I will consider special circumstances, but standards will not be compromised. All work must be completed during the course. So within these policies, within the procedures, if someone needs something, I will do that. For example, something happens and I say, oh, they need something here. I will help you with that as long as the standards are not compromised and all work must be done before the end of the course. Okay, and the due dates. You have to be done by the due dates throughout the course and at the end of the course. Any action taken by me to help someone doesn't really eliminate anyone else's responsibility to follow the rules and policies, because I'm not going to violate these policies and procedures. Okay, I might work within them to help students, but I won't violate them. Okay, that's been a while, and I appreciate listening it all the way through. If not, make sure that you do read this all the way through, because this syllabus gives all the policies and procedures that are necessary for this course. So between now and class time, I want to urge everyone to be safe, don't take anything for granted, and take care.